Connected means connected. That's what it means. It means that it's connected. It means that the pipe is connected. And we spend way too long thinking about how do I connect the pipe? Is it connected yet? Is the energy connected yet? And you know, you never actually connect the pipe, and then you're like, oh yeah, I'm connected, and you know, and then you keep training, but you don't improve because you can perhaps be connected sort of on and off, but it's like you can't keep it. You can't keep the connection, you know, stable. So you need to find. So like I'm just criticizing myself. Like I'm watching my own videos, and I'm trying to see it from an outside observer as like which aspect does this guy need to improve? Okay, that's what we're doing here. So it's like if I would observe the brain waves of me, I would probably see that they would be getting to that very, very, very deep, you know, deep subtle state where they need to be, and then the energy would be, it would be coming through, and it would be going through the channel system and going back down and consolidating and building up the pearl, and then pressurizing the pearl, and then the energy would be like that. And then, you know, I would see it going blah, blah, blah. And then again it would be like, and then again it would be like, blah, blah. And you could see, you know, you would be able to see when I was connected and when I wasn't connected. Now those are basically two extremes. It's not necessarily like connected, not connected, and then in between there's nothing. No, there's a lot of fluctuation happening in between to transfer the two extremes. But what you need to do is basically you need to find the mean point between the two, so that you're not trying to get too deep, and because you realize if you get too deep, then you can't keep it for as long a period. You can't keep it stable for as long a period of time. So you have to bring your brainwaves a little bit out of theta, or the deep brainwave stretch, sort of bordering on the borderline of awakeness and sleepness. So you're going to just need to have a little bit more awareness than that, and perhaps just burn a few more calories just to sustain that perfect twilight zone, or that's not the right word. It's the happy zone, the magic zone, the what do they call that zone? That's just far away enough from the sun so that it doesn't get burnt, but it's not so close that it does get burnt. Like it's just a Goldilocks zone. Yeah, it's just the Goldilocks zone, and that's an important concept in Tai, especially arts like Tai Chi that are very, very balanced. It's about really finding a balance that you can use, a structure of no structure that you can use, you know, the whole time during the combat or the self-defense or the fighting. You're just finding the Goldilocks zone of where the energy, that when you express it at those specific proportions, it stays like it has that balloon. You can develop that balloon, and you can so that Tai Chi, the Tai Chi can become very, very, very powerful, but it will only work efficient. It will only work at its most efficient in that Goldilocks zone, you know. But people that get to that point, they're really really good at staying at that exact Goldilocks zone, because they have developed very, very sensitive, you know, much more deeper than you would normally have. So that generally, a lot of the time, that does tend to compensate for. Let's be more honest. It can compensate. For not as much typical endurance or whatever. But you know, with Qigong, it's important to it's important to keep your training balanced, you know. Like do add a bit of even if this is the best you got. But anyway, I still just do this as well to work the. Yeah, to start to use the energy channels, which they're in the muscles as well. It's not like they can only express. It's not like those energy channels can only express energy when you're in a Tai Chi way. They can express energy in a Wing Chun way as well. They can express, you know, because even if you go like this and tie yourself up like this, you can still. Yeah, there it is. You can still kind of just find out where a very specific energy channel is, and sometimes you actually have to keep certain muscle groups in a certain place to be able to squeeze the energy out in a certain line. Yeah, it's also possible to develop any kind of skills like that. Cool. So I'm keeping my Qigong and my meditation balanced. I'm not letting my brain waves. I don't know how many people can go into like samadhi, or who can astral project, or who can leave their body behind in some way while standing up and have the brain waves completely go to as if there was no brain activity. You generally have to be sitting like completely still to do that. It's probably almost impossible to do that like standing up or doing some movement while doing that. I don't think so. It's not practical. looks kind of like a blind person walking around, doesn't it? It's because that sense of inertia is actually very close to the hearing. Not this kind of a buffer zone that comes to the hearing, and then there's a buffer zone between that and the sense of inertia, and they're kind of linked at that buffer zone, so you're kind of hanging out a lot in that buffer zone between the receptiveness of sound and the receptiveness of your mass and inertia. Buffer zone in between there that you're hanging out in. Yeah, one idea I just had, while trying to stabilize my thoughts, it keeps coming back. It's going to go, if I don't write it down now, then it's going to keep, yeah, I better write it down. Yeah, so there's like, should I say specific names? I don't know. I could say specific, maybe I will, but it doesn't matter. Like it's not about criticizing any one specific like person. You know, that's not really. Maybe it is. Maybe it is about that. I suppose. Well, yeah. What am I kidding? Of course, you're basically saying, look, I disagree with you. You know, that's what you're saying. So yeah. It's not to say that the person I'm disagreeing with is inferior than me in a lot of ways. Maybe inferior is not the right word. It's not like I should be worried that another person might get offended if I say something. Like, I should say it. Like, yeah, because then that'll help them improve too. Or my criticism could be wrong. It may be I may be having cognitive dissonance. I may be having a confirmation bias. I may be letting my ego go a little bit. So, but how would I know unless I speak it out, and then the other person can tell me what they can be honest and let me know, and then I can improve. Or if I am right, then they can improve. Yeah. So that's like so many. There's something that wants to change. There is some new knowledge now, and it's easy to see. There is new knowledge. It wants to come forth. It wants to come out of people's mouths. It wants to be spoken. There is a new knowledge around. That was not a new knowledge. It's awareness of something that, okay, people are aware of it now. They want to speak it out. They're waiting for people to speak it out, and they're too shy to speak it out themselves, or they won't speak it out because they fear of ridicule, or fear of losing influence, losing respect. But I'm pretty sure those days are gone. I think they're gone. A little bit of inertia, a little bit of momentum left, but I'm pretty sure we're already in the transition period now, right? So yeah, just like I've been practicing Qigong. I started with Tai Chi, and we included in that was a whole Neigong section, basically. It was a Neigong lineage was carried through the Tai Chi, through the Tai Chi training that I learned, the Huang Xingxian from Malaysia lineage, in line with Yang Cheng Fu. And yeah, those 12 exercises, 11 exercises, I still practice them today, every day. And yeah, especially the 6 relaxing exercises, especially the up and down, which has been passed on from by Master Huang and other masters. Yeah. And anyone that's teaching that, like people that understand that stuff, and like that have spent time in China, and a lot of these people are like really committed. Like it's really their they just, yeah, it's their life. It's the life. It's the life they choose. It's the life they choose to live. It's normal. It's normal to them. But at the same time, it's it's a precious knowledge that they understand. So it's yeah. I have, of course, these people should. If these people are if are given a place, like if they're given respect, I think that's a good thing. We should definitely respect people who have spent so much time in China, and who have been really committed to their Qigong training, their Neigong, and they've established schools, they've written lots of books. Like what motivation would I feel to criticize these people? Why would I have bitterness? What would I gain from having bitterness towards these people? I guess you may argue maybe it's my ego, maybe it's my confirmation bias, maybe it's my cognitive dissonance, and I'm not cultivated well enough. Well, please tell me how. Please expose that. Criticize my Tai Chi. Post videos and show me where I'm going wrong, what I should be doing better. Otherwise, your criticism is all inside of you, and it's completely useless. It's not. You're not using it to help yourself. You're not using it to help myself. You're just keeping it there in your mind, and it's probably not good for your health. So yeah, there you go. I said it, and I don't need to. Yeah, I don't need to name anyone. Why? Why would I need to? Yeah, why would I do that? I mean, I could, but it's like for me it wouldn't matter, for them it probably wouldn't matter, but other people might get the wrong idea, or yeah, like it's, I guess in Western culture, like it's, oh, but who did you mean? Did you mean this guy? Did you mean that guy? Like, who are you talking about? Maybe some people are like that. They want to know they want to know specifically. But does it really matter? No. It's just, I'm just saying the Nagong schools that are the lineages that are really legit. So there's something that there's people are aware of stuff and they wanna find out, and like someone needs to break the ice here, put on a weird black hat and pretend that they're a secret space commander from the Black Ops that's been sent down, or maybe they're someone like Randy Kramer, who maybe they are legit, or maybe they're just making it up, but still they're helping to kind of break the ice on this. It's like yeah, hopefully people are smart enough not to be lured into cults anymore. But there are some of these people that are kind of borderline cultish. Like yeah. So yeah, just be careful out there, and don't necessarily take my word for it either. Yeah, what am I kidding, man? We haven't had any spaceship land and then people come out and explain where they come from and showing us some video, some long documentation video and other recordings of ancient history on Earth, and showed us the whole history and showed us their technology and introduced their culture to us. And no, that hasn't happened yet. So it's like, where's the reference point here? For now, the reference frame is like is just honesty, and no bullshit. That's the reference frame, is people that are honest and that are not making up bullshit. That's the reference frame. If there's anything that's like you don't really need to, like, I think a lot of people, they want to help break the ice on this. But the issue is they incorporate some fantasy, or they incorporate too much fantasy. So I hope not to incorporate too much fantasy. I mean, I do enjoy cosplay, and I do enjoy dress up. I quite enjoyed drama when I was in high school. Yeah, that was fun. And yeah, I played Space Jump. If anyone's played Space Jump, that's a really cool game. Maybe we could all get together and play Space Jump one time during a Qigong lesson. Yeah, it might be a good idea. Help loosen up people's shen. That might help. Do some theatre sports. Do some LARPing. Live action role play. Don't get any weird ideas. But yeah. I mean, why not? That would be. You could use that kind of thing as training methods, So yeah, that's where I'm coming from with this. That's where I'm coming from with with dressing up or writing some stories, using ChatGPT to write some fantastic story. Yeah. About that, maybe I'm a space commander. That's or maybe I mean, it's like you got to have some. You got to be able to envision yourself succeeding. You got to, like, this is just, I guess my way of manifesting, my way of clearing the path for okay, that's where I want to go. Is this still recording? Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's my way of sort of like clearing the path for where I want to go. It's like just like trailblazing yeah, that's where I'm headed. Yeah, you need to not necessarily imagine, not really fantasize, but envision, I would say. And you're using a very honest brain function. Yeah, you can say a higher brain function, but in the sense that it's more rooted in logic and reasoning. It's very down to earth. You're not making stuff up. You're just you're kind of retroducing by way of retroduction, and by way of wisdom, you're basically you're clearing the path. You're understanding, okay, this is the next step I need to take in order to get to this end goal. So you're envisioning. This is my way of envisioning an end goal, you know. And yeah, I suppose there are elements of fantasy in there, but I'm just aware of that, and I think people can see that very clearly, because I do try to if I'm fantasizing, or if I'm romanticizing something, if I'm being cliche, then I need to do it. I need to exaggerate it a little bit so that people can see, okay, he's being cliche. Like, you don't want to. The mistake in my cultivation would be to be seduced by some cliche way of saying it and actually kind of believe that's what it is without having even proven it anyhow. But I know where I'm headed based on more honest brain function observation of what's going on in the world, in the media, in the social networks that I am in, and the conversations I'm having with people that are making more money than I am, people that are more influential than I am, people that are smarter than I am, and then observing people that are maybe not as smart as I am, I guess, and then talking to people that are at the same level as me, and then kind of exchanging ideas with them, and maybe they criticize something what I do, maybe I defend it, and then they say no, actually not, and then I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I guess you're right, and that's how this works, man. That's how this works. But yeah, these two ideas it's one idea that I have, that I want to. I think this is a good way to start some sort of ground up company, I would say, an organization, a corporation, because it's got to be rooted in finances. Like anything that is anything that's going to succeed, like it has to be rooted in business deal, in finances, or it has to be economically. It has to have an economic way to exist. Like, yeah, you got to have to do. It has to be profitable. Is the word? Yeah, there we go. That's very easy to say. Okay, it has to be profitable, right? Any organization that is going to last for a certain amount of time is going to have to be. Yeah, like, okay, it's got to have some depth to it, like spiritually, wisdom. Like, it's got to have some really good scientific knowledge. That's going to help people, that people are going to see, and they're like, oh shit, yeah, I should definitely be a part of that organization, because that'll benefit me immensely, and I may even be able to help these guys. I think I know what that guy's trying to do there. Okay, let's go. That's what needs to happen. And I think an important part of that would be to have it rooted in the department of sort of mind-body discipline, like yoga, fitness, health, robustness, cultivation of the spirit, the mind, and the body. Balancing the emotions. Like, for that, it has to have some kind of way where you can see where everyone in the group is at. So that's where the biofeedback network app would come in. So you would have a network app that, and you could use smartphones would probably be fine, and you would use it would be an app that would be designed such that you could probably do it all in one camera, and then but you'd need something recording you, and that would have to have a certain degree of AI capability in the software as well, so it could see your breathing. It could measure your breathing, probably by looking at you, or maybe could it measure your breathing by looking at you? I'm not sure, but it could measure whether you were, it could detect for how long you were sleeping, definitely if you put it in the room and it could detect how long you were sleeping. It could probably detect various other, it could, yeah, I think it would be quite, depending on what inputs the AI algorithm is picking up on. Yeah, you could get a lot of information from that in the way of biofeedback. So you probably wouldn't need too many sensors on the body, but probably ones for the heart rate and for the skin conductivity, and maybe a little one for the brain waves. And then you would have that in the network app, so everyone could see everyone's heart rate, skin conductivity, brain waves, and some other body movement kind of stuff. Yeah, a few other inputs that we might not think of that are important. That's what we would need. Yeah.